going to do is show you how to submit your coursework for this particular class. What you need to do first is to launch Dreamweaver. When Dreamweaver opens up, what you're going to do is under the main menu here, you're going to pick Site. You're going to select New Site. Going forward, and this is just a note that we will be managing our site, but for right now we're going to select New Site. This dialog box will appear, and what I'd like you to do, where it says site name, I'd like you to put Art116 with no spaces and no capitals. Next, we're going to use this folder icon to navigate to your USB, and we're going to select your named folder or your root folder. This is something that we've already set up. So I'm going to click on this folder icon, and I'm going to browse to my USB, Art116, and my name folder, and I'm going to choose it. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Servers right here in the left-hand column. I'm going to click this plus icon to add a new server. Another dialog box pops open, and what I'd like you to do under server name, we're going to select My Drive. That's the server that we're going to be using for this class. Next, what I'd like you to do is leave the FTP option alone. You're going to click down to FTP address, and you're going to input mydrive.nvcc.edu. You're going to put your username, which is going to be your Canvas username, and also your password. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it where it says More Options here, and I'm going to make sure that Use Passive FTP is not selected. Sometimes when you have it selected, Dreamweaver has a hard time connecting to My Drive. In this case, if I deselect it, I have an easier time connecting. And then I'm going to click on the test button. This is going to show me whether I actually typed my password correctly. I'm going to click on Test. And I get a dialog box that says Dreamweaver connected to your server successfully. So I'm going to say OK. I'm going to save, and I'm going to click the Save button again. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to export these site settings so that I have them later in the course. When you come into Art116, you're always going to have to import your site settings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back under Site. This time I'm going to Manage Site. Okay, when this dialog box pops open, I'm going to click on this folder icon here with the little arrow. I'm going to click on it. This dialog pops open. I'm simply going to say OK. I want to see more options here in the Finder window, so I'm going to click on this little arrow here. I'm going to navigate to my USB, Art116, and I'm going to save this file. Note that it ends with the extension STE. Okay? In my USB, since it's an older USB, I have some what I would call ghost files. I wouldn't be concerned about them. So I'm going to go ahead and save and say Done. Okay? When you come into class the next time, what you're going to do is, again, launch Dreamweaver. You're going to go under Site, Manage Site. If you're sitting in the same location that you've sat in before, you should see Art116 listed here with your username and password already in the computer's memory. If not, you're going to have to click on the Import Site, and this is if you're sitting in a different location. Different computers aren't going to remember the information. You're going to import. You're going to go to your USB and select this file and open it. I'm not going to do it at this point because I already have it in the computer's memory. And I'm just going to say done.